What is up, guys? My name is MipZ and welcome back for yet another League of Legends video. So today we're playing CAITLYN, and this ADC is a really fun one. She's quite popular at the moment, and that's for a very good reason. And quite honestly, she's always, in my opinion, been pretty popular. She's always a pretty strong champ, pretty balanced one. That I don't really feel like there's been many seasons where she haven't been like in a good state, unless the whole ADC role has had kind of a rough time. We have had one of those where we kind of like to have some bruisers down the bot lane as ADCs. I'm glad that time is over, but CAITLYN is a really fun ADC, and CAITLYN is, in my opinion, kind of like if you guys are into Counter-Strike Go or Call of Duty, then this is kind of the quick scoping of League of Legends, or at least League of Legends sniper. She's really cool, and she's one of the champs in the game with the longest range. This is super cool. She's really fun to play, and you can really harass your enemies with this champion, which makes it extremely fun, which kind of takes us to the first point. Who is this champion for? Well, in my opinion, and this is of course completely subjective, it is different from person to person, what they kind of prefer and what works for you. Some people might actually do better with champs that I consider to be harder, and vice versa. But this champion is one of those ADCs that she's not the easiest champ to play, but because of her like insanely, enormously long, I know what you're thinking, range, she's really something that I wouldn't recommend or wouldn't mind recommending for somebody who's pretty new at the game. Like, I wouldn't say that if you're just jumping into League of Legends, never ever played the game before, then I probably wouldn't recommend CAITLYN for you off the bat. But I think for that I probably wouldn't recommend that many ADCs. But if you've played the game for a little while and you've decided that you want to become an AD carry, then I wouldn't mind recommending this champion for you. The reason for this is that CAITLYN is honestly really fun. She has a very long range, and this means that at lower elos you are going to be able to poke your enemies a lot, meaning that, oh, this is a kill, thank you. Meaning that a lot of people at lower elos especially, and probably in normal games. Oh, wow, my bad. I'm actually... Okay, this was terrible. My bad. I was kind of trying to talk. I didn't really look at his health. I'm so sorry. I might actually just... I'm gonna flash. Alright. Can we please just chill, Lucian? I'm kind of trying to talk here. Thank you. Okay, but yeah, CAITLYN, because of her very long range, she really, in my opinion, kind of works for just about anyone. And what I mean with this is that if you're new at the game, then yes, CAITLYN doesn't have the greatest wave clear and can get shoved fairly easy, but her wave clear is not terrible either. She's kind of mediocre at that, but she has really long range, which means that as a newer player, you'll be able to poke your enemy a lot, and people at low elo pretty often don't know how to respond to this. And that's kind of my point. Like, you can, that's what kind of outweighs the fact that she's not a champion that shoves the lane a lot. If you're a mediocre or high-rated player that are playing the ADC role or want to get into it, then CAITLYN is definitely someone you want to get into your roster, because she is really good. She definitely is. Alright, let's get these. But yeah, that aside, let's talk a little bit about her spells. So first of all, we have her passive, and her passive is a very big part of who CAITLYN is. Her passive is called a headshot, and a headshot allows her to shoot a bullet in the head. And you can probably imagine that getting a bullet in your face probably deals more damage than shooting him in the feet or wherever else CAITLYN hits it. So this is something you really want to think about whenever you're playing CAITLYN, that you want to of course, get as many headshots as possible. Whoop, we gotta get out of here. So just hell about here. And the way CAITLYN gets headshots is by... Ooh, can we get this? No? Yes? Maybe? That is going to be enough. Thank you. The way CAITLYN gets headshots is by shooting, which sounds obvious, but she gets it by shooting 6 shots. Every 6 shot CAITLYN fires off is going to be a headshot. So it's basically just based on attacks. This sounds very simple, and it of course is. It's not something that you're particularly gonna like. It's not something that you can do much about, except you can prepare it before a fight such that you know that as you engage you have a headshot ready. This can be very useful. But also there's another aspect of this spell, and this is what a lot of people don't realize, is that CAITLYN gets her stacks, or she needs to attack half as many times if she's shooting from a bush. This is very, very, very useful. So the way you can see how many shots you fired is this counter down here. It says headshot count. CAITLYN charges up for a headshot. So every time she shoots, she gets 1 stack until she hits 6, and that 6th shot is gonna be, or 6th shot is gonna be a headshot, dealing a massive extra damage. If you're shooting from a bush, then you get 2 stacks per shot, meaning that ideally or potentially you can stand in a bush and you'll get a headshot every 3rd time you shoot your rifle. This is extremely good. So this is something you want to think about when you're fighting. Of course, now if you're fighting a Rengar, you don't want to stand in the bush, obviously, but if you can and you're fighting and you want to optimize damage, this is for optimizing damage. There are a lot of situations where you still want to stay behind your minions, and but if you're not in more danger by standing in the bush, then it is better for you to stay in the bush or use the bushes, because by using the bushes you are going to be able to... Oh god. Oh god, I'm so slow. Get me out of here. My turn, man. My turn. Alright. So by standing in the bushes, you are going to be able to potentially shoot off double as many headshots. Oh god. I have no mana either. Rip. Rip, rip, rip. Alright, let's back off. You are going to potentially be able to shoot double as many headshots off, since you're only going to have to shoot 3 times in order to get a headshot. Quite simple, but very, very, very effective. Let's see, I think for now we'll just stay with what we have. Could probably have bought a potion as well. Anyway, that aside, that is all your passive does. One thing you do need to know, I'll make sure to explain this in detail as well as we get to the W and E, but you also get headshots for anyone who steps in your traps. But these headshots are a little bit different, and you might have noticed we did it just before, but that is that you get a longer range on the shot. It deals a massive chunk of damage, but also has a longer range. And you can see this indicated by a visual representation, which looks pretty cool. It looks pretty nice. So this is something you really want to do. You get that from whenever people step in your trap, or whenever you use your E that hits a target. Okay, a lot of action going out. They really like to fight down here. Let's get all of this going, and we need some vision. We need to get ourselves a little bit of vision. But that is basically your passive, and it's a very big part of her, so it's very important that you do understand how that works. Your next ability is called Pilled Over Peacekeeper. And this one is also really, really cool. This is one of the spells that most of you guys probably know, because it's quite iconic for CAITLYN. And that is this thing that you shoot, and it travels pretty far. It basically looks like this, and as it hits a target, it becomes a little wider and it deals damage to anything in its path. What you need to know about this one is that it deals, of course, a good chunk of damage, but it deals the most damage to the first target it hits. Anything from that point on, it's gonna deal reduced damage too. Unless a target is trapped. If they're trapped, it's always going to deal 100% damage to the trapped target also. So this is one of the reasons why it's very important before you pop your Q. If you can, then trap your enemy. We'll get into how to trap, how to think about these things, but it's quite important. But that is basically your Q. It's quite cool. It deals good chunk of damage, and just to put things in perspective, I know the reduction of how much damage this does on any target after the first one has been changed from time to time. Right now, it's on 40% damage reduction. I think it has been up to 60%. This is, of course, subject to change, but how the spell work haven't been changed at all. So just know that whenever you shoot, you do want to either hit your primary target, straight away, or you want to make sure that they're trapped in order to maximize your damage. So pretty often you are going to be better off holding on to your passive or your Q just for a moment until you have them trapped, instead of just popping it right away, unless there are no like minions or anything in front of your target. So that is your Q. Your W is called Yordle Snap Trap. I think that's how it's pronounced, right? Yordle Snap Trap. Yeah, that's the name. Yordle Snap Trap is also a really cool thing, and something that makes CAITLYN really viable. It's a really big part of her because it can be used for several things. First of all, it's super nice, and this is what you're gonna use it the most for, is actually ensuring that that every time your support or your team does some kind of crowd control on a target, then you want to make sure that you put a trap underneath. The reason for this is that once the trap is under, it's going to be just a moment before the trap goes off, and then they get rooted and you get a headshot. So you really want to go for these to make sure that you chain up. This is one of the reasons why CAITLYN is extremely good with crowd control supports. It's honestly what she strives with. So really try and play her with that. Wait for your support. Leona, Morgana. Morgana is probably one of my absolute favorites when playing with CAITLYN, because it's going to be like a 4 seconds full stun or snare. If Morgana snares first, then you put a trap on top of it, then that target is literally dead. There's no way they're going to get out, which is really fun. And that's a really good combo. But there are a lot of fun combos, but just know that a really big portion of this, he is definitely going to get away again. A really big portion of it is just chaining with your teammates. Also, you can use this to zone off enemies, which is also really good. Imagining you're sitting, let's see, just give me a second here. I'll see if I can show you guys on the map. So imagine that you're fighting for Rift up here, or you're trying to take it. Then you can actually just put 3 traps right here, and you're going to zone off this entire area. It's going to be really difficult for your enemies to do anything about that. So yeah, that's basically that one. Really cool. You can use it for a lot of things. You can also use it to make it harder for people to gank you. You can put your W here, such that if they use this one, this jump thingy, then they are gonna be be trapped just as they go down there, which is also very cool. There are a lot of uses for this thing, so really do not underestimate it. It is absolutely insane. All right, let's see if I can. Ooh. This is really bad. Alright, let's get out of here. I need a back, and I need it now. Alright, so that is our W, and we'll get a bit more into how to use this as we're done explaining the abilities. Our next ability, I should probably have gone down here and helped now, but that is too late. I am sorry, guys. I am sorry. I'm explaining stuff, you know? Alright, so our next ability is our E, and our E is a really big part of CAITLYN, and you guys just saw me use it right here to get over the wall. You can use this over walls that are pretty thin, which is cool, so it's a good way to get away. I used it here to flash and jump over. pretty nice trick. You can use it to chase down people. If you're running after somebody, you can use it like this to gain some momentum and get close to them. And the reason for this is that CAITLYN's E, it's called 90 caliber net, and what it does is that it shoots out this net that quite obviously actually slows your target. Additionally, it gives you a headshot, which means that you're gonna deal a good chunk of damage. But since this net is such a heavy shot for CAITLYN, then it knocks her back. So this knockback can be used in several ways. It can be used to kite. So if somebody's really close to you, you just use it directly on them. You can use it to catch up by using it the reverse way. You can use it to get over walls. You can use it for a lot of things, and it's really, really good. Like, it really, really is. But that is basically your E. You're most commonly going to be using this in a damage combo. So if you have somebody stunned or trapped, you're gonna use this in combination with it. He's over here. I go behind these minions. Give it a second. You know what, dude? I'm gonna make sure that he's dead. Nice. So yeah. That's kind of that one. There's a lot of depth to how to use it, but it is really good for optimizing damage as well, especially doing WE combos. It's gonna give you double headshots. Doing WEQ combos, you can do up to like 3 to 5 headshots in a row, which is really cool. Which is honestly gonna melt just about anyone, almost even tanks. Like she's pretty cool. And the way you always want to play CAITLYN in laning phase is just waiting for your support to engage, put a trap on top of them, and follow up. And otherwise, just sit in the lane, farm, poke as much as you can with your Q and your out attacks, because you do outrange just about everyone. But yeah, that is our E. Our next ability is our ult, and our ult is called Ace in the Hole. And this spell or ability is also a really cool one. It's a big part of why people like to play CAITLYN. See, just make sure we get all this. I'm probably gonna die. Rip. Akali. Dang you, man. Okay. I didn't play that perfectly at all. I should have had a trap onto that Akali. Actually dived me. I should have predicted that. But the point of these gameplays are not to show you guys the perfect, or these videos is not to show you guys the perfect gameplay. It's just to show you guys, kind of give a showcase of the champion, how you can play it, how the spells work, how they work in combination, what you can do with her, and how to combine everything, and how to make it work. So that's kind of what these videos are, just for anyone wondering. But it is really nice when we get some good gameplay as well, of course. Anyway, Ace in the Hole is a big part of why people like to play CAITLYN as well, or at least one of the cool things. It's what really makes her feel like, yeah, you know, a sniper. This spell has an extremely long range. You guys can see right here. It literally goes out to this point. It's so freaking long, if you know what I mean. It's really, really long. The range on this thing is extremely long, and it's really, really good. It deals a very high chunk of damage, a good chunk of damage that you really... Most commonly, you're going to use this to finish people off. But the thing is, whenever you do use... Whenever you do use this one, then you are also going to get true vision on your target, meaning that even if they run out of your line of sight or in here somewhere, you're still going to be able to see them. The thing with this spell is that anybody, if you're shooting it, imagine you're shooting it at Lucian. If Senna runs in front of Lucian, then Senna is going to absorb that shot instead. So it's something you want to think really about, which angle you're shooting it from, and if it's too easy for the enemy to absorb. But yeah, that is kind of that spell. It's really fun. You can also use it for imagining that your team is chasing somebody. Then you can use it for giving them vision on that target. So if they're running and they're just about to run out of vision, you can click your ult on them, and it's going to maintain that vision on them until your shot has hit. But that is basically that one. That is the combination of all her spells. Alright, let's see if we can get this Drake down. I need to try and think a little bit about my position in here. I do want to stay behind my team for as much as I can. We will be able to get that, and I can help out over here. There are 2 people top popping Rift, so I'm not going to be able to help that top, so we're just going to go down here. There we go. But in general, there are different ways of optimizing damage on CAITLyn. One of them being that you can actually use the walls. Imagining that you're fighting someone here. If you do your E into the wall, you can see it basically stops instantly, especially if you hit a target with your E. Then you're not going to have any animation and you can just headshot really quick. Usually what you want to do... Let's see if we can push this real quick. Should be able to. And then I'll back. There we go. Usually what you want to do is you want to either trap your target, so follow up on a stun from your support or your team or whatever. Follow up with a trap, then use your E on that target. This means, of course, that you need to not have any other target in front of you. That's quite important, because otherwise you, of course, won't be able to do this. I think for now, I think we're actually going to sell that, get ourselves a BF sword, and get that one. So that is quite important that you do this. For this, you could also rush directly to the Infinity Edge. It's kind of what you probably most commonly want to do, but I couldn't finish off the Infinity Edge, so it kind of started my rapid Firecanon. But we are going to try and finish our Infinity Edge first, because we already have our Stormrazor, and getting these 3 items, as we finish all of those, we are going to start dealing at absolutely insane amount of damage. And right now we're in a pretty decent state. Like, we're not doing too bad. Our farm is somewhat decent. We're about 50 to 60 farm ahead. So let's see if we can get down here. But yeah, always try and see if you can trap your target, then E it. So you really got to think about your positioning such that you can hit your E on your target, because it really does a huge amount of damage. Oh, that was a unexpected hit. I did not know Akali was there. So that's something you really got to think about, is your own positioning such that you can hit your E. Because if you can do WE, then you're going to have 2 headshots right after each other. If you shift clicks next to it, then you can actually do what is kind of referred to as machine gun CAITLyn. Especially if you're standing up to a wall, then you can fire off a massive amount of damage in basically a split second, which is really, really cool. And I'll see if I can do it throughout this game, especially when standing up to a wall. You can literally just melt just about anyone in a matter of a split second. What? See, I'm going to try and make it a little difficult for these guys. You always want to hold on to at least 1 trap, such that it's really hard for the enemy team to catch you fully off guard, and such that if one of your teammates does hit a CC, then you are able to follow up with oh, I need to be a little careful here. I'm not a big fan of that Akali. Oh. Yep, I knew it. I knew it. She was hungry. She was real hungry. Alright, fair enough. I should have predicted that. She was just all up in my face. But yeah. As we're moving into team phase now, I don't want to be running around on my own like I just did here. I want to try and stick with my team, try and play the backline. I always want to try and outrange people. So the thing is, I never want someone like Akali to get up in my face, because there is, against someone like her, up to almost 0% chance that I'm going to get away, even with all my summoners as I just had here. It's probably not going to happen. But yeah, your general combination or combo, what you want to do is you want to pop a trap on a target. Really try and see if you can be in a position where you can get your E in as well. So you WE and then you Q. And then you're going to have from 2 to 5 headshots in a row. And you're gonna have your damage from your Q doing maximum damage to your target because they have their because you have them trapped. So that's pretty important. So let's see if we can do something here. We are pretty fit. And we do deal a lot of damage. Oh, the Lucian flash. I'm actually throwing pretty bad right now. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not doing a great job. Okay, so how do we come back into this? How do we not throw this? Like, our damage is really good. We've been farming fairly decent. What we've died to the last 2 deaths has been flashes. So that was flash from Lucian, and last time Akali just went all in and we didn't stay behind our team. Right here I also kind of overplayed my hand. But let's try and play this really, like, see if we can do it a bit more textbook, stay behind our team, and really just do our job. So, laning phase, let's just break it down real quick for you guys. Once more, laning phase, what you want to do is you want to farm, you want to poke as much as you can with your basic attacks, of course, while maintaining your farm. And you want to poke using basic attacks and your Q, of course. This is very important, and that's just how you want to play the laning phase. Every time your support sets up a kill with a stun or something else, then you want to follow that up with a trap, such that you get longer snare, get a free headshot, and then follow that up with an EQ, and your W is mostly going to be your ult is mostly going to be a gap closer. And then for other things, you can use your W to zone off people. You can use it to basically, like, honestly, it's quite useful for other things, because, like, imagining that we don't want him to get up here, you can put traps like this. It's going to be really hard to them, or for them to get up here now. This is, of course, not ideal right now, but you get the point. The point is that you can zone off, you can do it over here as well, and it's going to be really hard for the enemy team to go past this point without getting snared. Same goes for turrets. You can do it around turrets, and you can do it around a lot of things that's really going to help out your team. Let's see, this seems to be going in. I'm getting a trap underneath that guy. That's going to be a nice kill for our team. Right here, we got to think. I feel like most of them are going to become that way. I used one trap too many because I don't have any follow-up traps now. But what I wanted to do was want to try and kind of zone off this area. I'm going to go up here so that I can use my E over the edge if necessary. I'm not going to be able to get to the edge. And I think at the end I actually ended up tanking Baron, so that was terrible. I did not want to go for this engage. I hope my team was either going to back off or finish off the Baron fast. And that's why I wanted to go into the pit. At the end here, it actually ended up being worse for me to go into the pit, just because the Baron ended up hitting me for a lot of damage. But my point was, if they wanted to disengage, we could go over here. I could just use my E over the edge. If we wanted to go for the Baron, we could finish off and I could still get away. But since they wanted to go all in, I should have tried to basically sneak my way over here or somewhere up here. But this way would probably have been worse. Just because we didn't really have much for that position. So going this way would have been the ideal way for me, and just try and kind of create a backline for my team. But so far, so wow, really. Now I can finish my item. We'll just go back real quick, finish our Rabid Firecanon. We're gonna start dealing a serious amount of damage now, which is gonna be really fun. I think for our next item, just because I feel like we are in a state where it's pretty important that we don't die, we're going to get ourselves a Guardian Angel, and then we're probably going to follow up with something like a Bloodthirster or something along those lines. I don't feel like the enemy team at this point is too tanky. Maybe these two are going to require us to get something, otherwise we could go Lord Dominic, some more Reminder or something like that, but we'll see. I'm going to pump my ult, try and make sure that we help out as much as we can so we don't lose any members of our team. We have one guy down, and maybe, just maybe, we'll be able to turn this into a Baron. But for now, let's follow our team, see what they want to do. So we have a snare onto that guy. I'm out of range. Sadly, I don't have my ult. So I kind of just want to convert that kill into some kind of an objective. So let's see, maybe just take this turret. And that is going to be some good damage onto that Akali. She's going to back out and not be able to do much here. So I'm just going to try to stay behind my team here, play textbook, wait for my team to go in, wait for everybody. I'm going to be able to finish this turret. And we'll just try to slowly... Oh, I'm too far ahead, or I'm too far out. I'm going to use our flash to not get caught. I actually overstayed there, since he ran up there. I think, let's go down, ward up Drake, just so they don't get it. Okay. This is... Let's see, I don't think Fizz is gonna go in there again. So let's go over here, get a little bit of farm, and kind of wait for our team. That's 30 seconds till this Drake is spawning, and it's something that we really want to go for. Especially because it's going to be their 4th Drake. If they get that one, that's going to be a huge boost for them. That means that they will get the big buff, which is going to be the movement speed on ult, which is really, really useful for them, especially for this Akali. This Akali will be really, really a pain to handle if... Oh, come on. Oh, no. And that's the thing. Olaf, I tried to help Akali. Probably, in this case, it was not the ideal thing to do. I should probably just have left. I think we'll get Bloodthirster. I feel like that is the way to go right now. Or no, you know what? Guardian Angel first. I think maybe Guardian Angel will be ideal first. Gonna give us a little bit of armor. Let's see. Does that make sense? It's either Guardian... I think Guardian Angel now will be ideal. See, this is really bad. Because now they have the Cloud Dragon Soul. It's really not ideal for us. Alright, so I think we're gonna have to make a new rule for ourselves. Is don't really back up or fizz unless or tanks are there. Because the thing is, we cannot stop Olaf because of his ult, and that's why he got to me. I did put traps behind me, but there's just no way out for me. That's something you gotta try and take into consideration, which I really didn't. So just play this a little careful. See if we can get things going. We're still trying to get some of our farm. It's very important to try throughout the game to keep out your farm, because farm is gold, and it's in a lot of games. If you just farm well, you are going to be more fed than the people who get many kills. And a lot of people won't necessarily recognize this, and it doesn't matter, but you're really going to be able to carry games doing this. So, as a rule of thumb, if you're anywhere below plat, then... Oh, God, come on, man. Are you serious? Are you absolutely serious? I goddamn hate that Akali. I actually hate her. She is a little bit annoying. This was a terrible, terrible way to... That was a terrible combo. I do not know why I used my E there. Because I was out of range to actually hit it. And using E like that would also ensure that even if I hit my E, I would be out of basic attack range. And that's something you don't want to use it for. You of course don't want to use it unless you know it's a kill shot. You don't want to use it in your combo if it's going to knock you out of your basic attacker range as well. You want to try and stay always with CAITLYN at max range. That's kind of the idea with her. She has very long range. Use it. Use the range. And especially with this rapid fire cannon, everything just becomes a little bit more fun. Let's try and get over there. There's just fighting left and right. Oh, this is not good. That was a terrible fight. That was an absolutely terrible fight. Let's see. Bloodthirster, Guardian. I think we really need this. I think we really, really do need this. Oh. Ornn disconnected. Let's hope that's not a rage quit. Okay. So 100 gold, that's going to be a GA, and we're going to be close. Then next up, we're going to get ourselves, I think, a Bloodthirster. I don't know what else. We could also have gone a different path, but I feel like this is still going to be best. A Lord Dominic's could also be very usable. Or maybe in a more reminder to counteract some of all that lifesteal, but you know what? Not gonna be able to do that. Ooh. Oh no. Oh no. Aw, come on. Anyway, yeah. I know this wasn't exactly a victory. That kind of sucked. I'm not gonna lie. That was not a great game. We tried to do our part, and I feel like things were going quite decently. We should have stayed more behind our tanks, created that backline. I did overextend. But yeah, things kind of just got out of hand. Our team didn't really play together as a unit, but I think this kind of shows the basic idea behind CAITLYN. As I said, these videos are not made to show you guys the perfect gameplay. They're just kind of made to show you guys the champion, how to play it, how you can use it, what it can be used for, and maybe if it's a champion for you. So this is, I hope this kind of gave you an idea whether or not this is a champion for you. If you already have it, maybe it gave you a new perspective on how to play it. And yeah, if you don't, you figured out whether or not it is a champion for you. So that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you guys found it somewhat entertaining and a little bit fun, maybe, and maybe a little bit informative, so you kind of learned something, and I hope you guys are gonna be able to apply that to your own gameplay. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, then make sure to smash that like button, and if you haven't already, then make sure to subscribe down below. It really does help me out a lot. It really shows me that you guys enjoy the content that I make. And yeah, I really do appreciate it. I think it's so absolutely mind-blowingly insane that we've grown with like just about 1,500 subscribers in less than a month since I started doing this again. So thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. I really do appreciate it. For anyone sitting out there and being like, damn, I wish I could do more to support your dream, then feel free to click the join button right next to the subscribe. That one, there are different memberships that yeah, give you different perks, such as special roles in a Discord chat or channel, and yeah, getting on my friend list in League, etc. So there's a lot of things. So if any of you guys just have a real big urge to support my channel or support my dream in more ways, then that is one way to go. And of course, it's completely voluntarily and not something that anybody should ever feel forced to do. I just want to throw it out there for anyone who doesn't know. But that is going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, as always, stay awesome, have fun, and take it easy, guys.